Okay, this is the motorcycle trip. I got a buddy, his name is Gary, and we used to live in Miami, and we decided we wanted to take a motorcycle ride. So he had a 750 Honda, and I had a Yamaha TX 650, and we take off on the road. We headed north. Well, he has a grandmother that lives in North Carolina. So we went up into North Carolina to his grandmother's house, and we stayed there about a week. She's got a little bit of land up in the mountains, and she grows tobacco. And so we seen the barns where they hang the tobacco to dry out. It's just like a big barn with a lot of the boards missing so that the air goes right through the barn and it dries out the tobacco. So we got to see all that, and we did some hiking up in the mountains, and it was a beautiful thing. And we left her house and we went up the Blue Ridge Parkway. The Blue Ridge Parkway is one of the most beautiful roads in this country. It's a road that just goes along the tops of the mountains, and it's a park actually. The whole road is nothing but a park, so you don't see any signs from the locals. The only signs you see are road signs, and so it's a wonderful, beautiful ride. And we took the Blue Ridge Parkway up, and then it turns into the Skyline Parkway, and it's still the same thing. It's a road that just goes across the tops of these mountains, and there are a lot of places to pull off and pull over and look, take pictures and see what everything is like, and it's just really, really a beautiful road to ride. We go up through the Skyline Parkway, and we ended up in Connecticut, and my grandmother was living in Connecticut. So we went to my grandmother's house, and we hung out there for about a week. I had a bunch of cousins that live up there, so all my cousins came over. We went out partying. We had a nice time, and we enjoyed, the week that we spent with my grandmother. After we left her house, we headed north. We went up through upstate New York, and we ended up going across the border into Canada. Well, that was kind of neat because I'd never been to Canada before, so I wanted to see some of it. So what we did is we drove around the Great Lakes, and we came back in the United States over Niagara Falls, which was kind of neat too, because now we get to see Niagara Falls, and we hung out there for, I don't know, about 2 days or so, and just had a wonderful time there. And then finally we get ready to go back, and we just head south, and we headed back to Miami. Miami's where we started. Now we're going back to Miami, and so we just headed back, south on the highways until we got back to Miami. And that whole trip took 9 weeks. We spent 9 weeks on the road, except for the 2 weeks we spent at our grandmother's. 9 weeks on the road, and we had no money, so all we had was a pup tent. So what we would do, we would pull into these places that take travelers, like campgrounds and stuff, and we would just pitch a pup tent, and that's where we would sleep every night. So it was kind of a rough way to go, but it was a lot of fun, and I had a really good time. For 9 weeks, I was on the road.